The thing is, you really don't see much of the world. You're practically blind. And that's a good thing. My name is Mr. 2020. You're listening to the Power of Imagination podcast. And we explore one thing here, the power of you, the power of imagination. And you've got to realize that you're blind. You barely see anything in the world. You can barely hear the sound of my voice. You see almost nothing in the world. What you see is you, reflected in reality. Well, that's almost true. It's kind of a lie. What you see, you're either going to see from your dreams or your doubts. In other words, you're going to believe either your dreams or your doubts. You can't have allegiance to both. And in this moment, you get to be honest with yourself. Do I believe in my dreams? Do I believe in my doubts? Neville Goddard says you're the dreamer of the dream. And it's all equally a dream. That doesn't mean that the world is an illusion. I lost a good friend to that. He asserted that it's all an illusion, and his world came crumbling down. And I notice, everyone who writes to me saying it's all an illusion, they're not getting real results. I wonder why. How do you get real results when it's all an illusion? I just call that the state of confusion, but I seem to digress. So I want you to notice today, what are you seeing from? Are you seeing from your dreams or are you seeing from your doubts? And every day there's going to be a ratio. Right? How much of your day do you see from your dreams? How much of your day do you see from your doubts? And I don't give a crap what you say to yourself. I had some people say, well, yeah, Mr. 20, I see it from my dreams. Cool. Huh. And then I poke the bear. Yeah, I'd love to have you in Remarkable next year. Go to joinremarkable.com. And then you can watch their excuses come up, because their excuses are given life to by their doubts. How many excuses do you settle for a day? Excuses are like trying to build a house on shifting sands while the tide is coming in. Trying to build a house on shifting sands while the tide is coming in? I'd call it silly, but if you're doing it, it feels really serious. Have you noticed that when you do silly things, you feel really serious? And that blocks your perception from the sacred. You're the sacred dance. Seems like the more I talk to people, the less sex is going on in the world. And I don't consider that causal. I just consider people being honest with me. Younger girls tell me that their guys just want to game all the time. Younger guys tell me something too. Middle-aged men, middle-aged women, fascinating. As far as I can tell, the sexual act involves the sacrum. The sacrum means sacred bone. And if our bellies are dancing, and we're at the core of our being sacred, think about it. You break your sacrum. I had a hip problem for a couple years. In other words, a sacrum problem, the way my femur related to my hip, but I digress. I think I called it the humerus the other day. That's funny. But meanwhile, pretty much everyone knows when Christmas is. If you ask someone when's Christmas, when was Jesus born, how about where? People will tend to tell you some things they feel are facts. And I just invite you, what about the virgin birth? Could you experience that today? A birth not based on history or lineage or background, but could you accept the desire in its richness? And everyone says, yeah. And when you struggle, it's because you're doing silly things and taking it way too serious. And again, I seem to digress. So, of course, I'm inviting you to join Remarkable.com. We're diving into the 12 superpowers starting in January. Simon Peter's the first. Neville calls them disciplines. I call them dances. And we're going to have a lot of fun. The first one, Simon Peter, the rock, admits only the honorable and the dignified. It's the superpower of being able to only hear the honorable and the dignified. And what if you could hear in a way that was honorable and dignified? And what if you honored and dignified you, the dance you are, the divinity you are, the dreams that you are given to by yourself divinely? Would you disgrace yourself with doubts? Would you settle for excuses? Not this year, 20. No. I'm still holding off on doing Manifesting Mastery course for another year. I want to distract myself with some stuff. Okay. While you're concerned about fixing or eliminating the cause of the noise, I'm inviting you to notice the sacred music. There's a sacred song being sung, and you came here to dance your dance to it. And you're not going to as long as you can buy into doubts. You can see from your doubts, or you can see from your dreams. You see very little of the world. And what you do see, you see from one of those. Which is it going to be today? I invite you to join the explorers, to join the dreamers. Join Remarkable.com. So just for fun, let's imagine something really specific today. When we go into the silence, I want you to imagine listening to this again and getting another level of gold. Because this is some good stuff. And I'd love for you to hear it even differently. So let's imagine that, you getting even more gold after listening to this one again as we go into the silence. So some people call this silly season. I notice it's often serious. God, yeah, some people even get wound up as far as how you greet them. Happy holiday, Merry something. Screw it, just yell. Yeah, wish you the best. Right? So I notice most of the world settles for small talk. Small talk about serious and silly shit. And meanwhile, I invite you to share in something sacred. I invite you to do something remarkable. What if you actually had remarkable to share with people? Wow. What if remarkable could be a way of life? Living a life that's remarkable. Fellowship, fun, family, friendship. Yeah. All right. That's what I got. Have a lovely day. My name is Mr. 2020, and I invite you to join Remarkable.com. See ya.